It is super windy. I'm talking about 20 to 40, 45 mile an hour winds out here today. I would say that it's too windy to go fishing, but I really don't believe that. I believe you just need to try to get out of the wind. So let's go shed hunting. That's right, let's go shed hunting. We started with a little handful of shells that we've already got. Now, y'all have seen these. If you remember, this is '06. Now, we have not found his other '03 yet that we know of. We found some little 3-points, but we haven't found any. This is '06, if you remember correctly. This guy got that was bent over in velvet, and it grew just like that once it hardened out. And he got it caught in the fence up there and yanked it out of his head. You see it's down probably about an inch below his head. Right there, it popped out. We see this deer all the time. He comes up here with the brotherhood of bucks, 5 bucks together, TC, Forrest, and 3 babies. And he's coming out with, that's what he's gonna have. He's gonna have one side, and that's all. Also, I've got what I believe to be one side of TC, Thundercloud. I believe I've got one side. Hopefully we'll find the other side. We might not. We have not found either one of Forrest. That's just amazing to me. I mean, that deer is, you know, I've got a couple collars on him. He's a pet. And we haven't found him. And we've got this right here. This is my prize of this year. This is that right? I always have a hard time here. That's right there. This is 12-point right there. 6 and 6. These 3 out here on the end are great. This is 12-point. This was the easiest find in the world. This is really probably easier than finding whiteys, which I didn't bring whiteys out. They're there in the house. I didn't bring whiteys, but this was so easy. These were laying side by side in the snow. Those of you that remember that, I found those laying side by side in the snow. So we're going to start out with this little handful here. And we got a lot of walking and hours, but we're going to see if we can find a few more. Now, if we end up at the end of the day, and this is what we got, y'all never see this. I won't show that to you. But if we can just find 1 or 2 or 3 more horns, we're going to be doing good. So we're going to do a lot of riding. We're going to do a lot of walking in the wind. Get you a soft drink, get ready. Let's go shed hunting. This is one of our food plots right here. You can see right here we've got stuff planted. And this is the Ocmulgee River Buckmaker food plot. And you can see we've got a wide variety of stuff. There's quite a few different seeds in there. You can see how all this stuff is growing, just popping up. We'll be putting NutriPlot fertilizer on that this week and really helping that grow and turn into something special. But every little row has got stuff in it. I like to look around food plots because obviously the deer hang around food plots a lot. And I've got a little trail cut right up here that's cut in between this food plot and the road. I've got another one down at that end. That's the one I drive in most of the time. So we'll come up here and it's right here. And we're gonna walk this trail because this is a 4-wheeler trail. It's a side-by-side trail that we use, but that's the same ones the deer use also. And anytime you can find where a deer trail, just walk a deer trail. Just walk deer trails and you got a good chance to find them because the deer always walk certain roads. And that's what we got right here. This is just a little, this goes up to another road. We'll walk up through here. Now, one advantage once you get into the woods is you get out of the grass. You get out of the grass and you can look and see. You want to walk slow, don't get in any big hurry, take your time. Of course, in the springtime, some of these days are pretty hot. Take your time and just look out in the woods and then look around close. I've many times been looking out in the woods and walk right up and be one laying right at my feet almost. There's a snake that bit me. You got to watch for snakes also, looking for these things this time of the year. And now as you look further out, you got to just be watching for little pieces of horns. You're not going to see, look at here. This is the type places you find them. You see right here, there's been deer right in this area right here. See this right there? Now that looks a lot like whitey, but I don't really think that's this year's horn. I think it's a horn. It's been eaten on a little bit here. You can see where this right here is where squirrel's been eating it on. I mean, not whitey, but Forrest. But that's not Forrest's horn. That's an old horn. Been eaten on right here. That's squirrels. Now, squirrels will eventually eat that up. That's why you're gonna find sheds that are maybe this year's or last year's or the year before, and they're gonna be gone. That's probably a deer's first horns right there. Bingo. At least we found one. Not gonna get skunked. Keep your eyes out for snakes. Fetch, Fetch, get it. She said, I ain't picking that thing up. Beamer, fetch. Bring it here. I ain't picking it up. She said, bring it here. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Way to go. Way to go. You want to get it again? Huh? Huh? Here, Beamer, here. Beamer, here. Fetch. She's old. You can't teach a dog at all. Well, look at here. Bring it here. Come on. Bring it here. Come on. Come on, bring it here. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Okay, now here's the deer trail right here that they've been walking. They've been walking it pretty frequently. It actually goes off down that way. The feeder's right over the hill there. We don't really have to keep feeding all the feeders year round though. Just some of them. That one we do not. Once it runs empty, after hunting season, it's empty. So this is the deer trail. So what we're gonna do, I really looked up there pretty far and I can't see anything. I'm gonna go ahead and follow it out and walk down this way. Follow that deer trail. Beamer, I know you're getting tired. Well, said, I've been walking further than you, boss. I left Beamer back there by a little pond. And she had to catch up with me, so she's tired. This is another one of the places you really want to walk out as much as you possibly can, is a creek. There's 2 or 3 reasons why you want to walk a creek. One is it's easy walking, and the animals walk a creek quite a bit. If you were out here hunting and you're walking down through here turkey hunting or something, this would be one of the places you'd walk because it's easy walking. The deer are no different. They walk in easy places too. The other thing that can happen is we haven't had any rain. Look at here, look at here, look at right here. Look at that. That could be, well, it's been in there, under there a long time, hasn't it? That could be 2, 4. That could be Forrest. That could be Forrest right there, I don't know. That could be Forrest. Well, it'd been under there a long time, hadn't it? Look at that. Look at that. That's another deer's first year's horn. That's exactly what we want to see in the first year like that. You know, 4-point, got a little sticker going to come out here a little bit later on. I was talking about, before I spotted this, I was talking about the fact that you have heavy rains and this creek can be running heavy water. It will actually wash these down to areas like that bend where they kind of wash them up on a bend, or even where there's a culvert. I mean, and it wouldn't hurt to get down and look inside of a culvert sometime, because these can be washed down just like sticks and rocks and stuff like that. And the other thing is, when deer cross these things, like here's a deer crossing right here. When deer cross these things and they come up through here, they jump and run across these. And so anytime they jump, then that's got a chance to jar that loose and make it fall. It's just gonna fall off their heads, all it's gonna do. They don't have to knock it off, but if they hit something, it'll go off a little quicker probably. But so you wanna look and you see that where it goes up, just look up here and really comb that hillside a lot. And look just like this one right here. There wasn't much of this guy sticking up out of the ground, or out, well, not in the ground, but in the leaves and stuff. He was in the ground a little bit. There was in the ground probably 2 or 3 inches right there. So anyway, you really peruse these areas where the deer might have jumped and jump up a bank or jump down a bank and kind of a little jar when they hit. But we'll walk this creek. It doesn't hurt if you want, you just walk it all the way. It goes for up there for a long, it actually comes up on a really big, beautiful, what is that right there? It's just a stick. That's what you want to look for though. You want to look for little pieces. See, that's just a stick. Little pieces of a horn, because all the leaves are falling and everything and they're blowing around with these heavy winds, and you might see a whole antler laying there, but you might not. This one is just sticking out a little bit. Now, if we had had some heavy rains, which we haven't, they haven't been running at all, where this water was rushing down this and it'd rush down here, and you can see how this is deep under there, that water go under there, that'd be a good place for horns to wash up in there and be laying. So you want to look at areas like that real good. Now, I've looked at that before. I've never found one there. The other thing I want to show you, this is another thing you want to think about anytime you're shed hunting, particularly if you're around creeks. Think what happened if you had 4 or 5 foot of water above this creek bank, or just 2 or 3 foot of water above this creek bank. And you got this drop off here, you got that big tree. This tree is broke off, it's gone, but you can look under there. Lord of mercy, you could have so many bass under there, it's amazing. Just a really, really great place to fish. That's why these bends in the creeks are so good, Creek running a straight deal here, comes around here, rushes right around this, makes that deep under there, washes out under that tree. You put 3 or 4 foot of water up over the top of that bank, 5, 10, 15 foot of water over the top of that bank, a bass haven right there, a honey hole. I'm talking a honey hole. Really pay attention to those sides where they come down, because they're jumping and going down through that, going up or down, it can shake them loose. I wonder, I don't think so. No. I turn these things around, I can't figure which is which. That's definitely not the same deer. Same age deer. Found a bone up there, but this is not a head bone, it's just a bone. That worked up a sweat. That worked up a sweat. But, what a, uh-oh, here we go, here we go. Oh, crap. That was all that was sticking up, and that white, look at that, dadgummit. Well, granted, we started, what did we have when we started? Well, we had most of those. I guess we found 3. 3's a pretty good day, to be honest with you. I've done a lot of walking, not found a single solitary antler. Those we already had. We had, what did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Pretty good pile of bones. Picking up bones, picking up bones. Doggone it, I hate these things like this. Look at that, look at that. Brow tine and everything. Water holes are always good, especially in a dry year. They're great places to hunt. I killed first really big deer I killed with a bow. I killed on a little water hole about the size of this one right here, maybe even tinier than this one. Sat in that tree since daylight that morning, killed at 4:30 that evening. An amazing hunt. I remember it like it's yesterday, and I was like 17 years old or 18 years old or something like that. And I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Just pretty amazing. Beamer, quit eating that stuff. Let's see, this pond might not even have any water in it, but I think it should. I gotta see them. I can't hear good enough to hear them. So much for hunting around the pond. But I'm telling you, there could be 2 or 3 sheds here. We just overlooked them or walked around them or something. I mean, you gotta be right on them. There's a horn right there. About time. Walk all the way around this dead-gum thing. Oh, it's a skull, it's not a horn. Looky there. That's the second one of these I found this year. I found, what is this, 8-point? I found one like this earlier. It's a 10-point, not an 8-point, 10-point. Now, I don't like to find that. That's something I don't like right there. That's probably 2 years old. And I know no one that shot this deer and crippled it and gone off and killed it. That's a couple-year-old deer. Been here for a while. I hate that right there. That's first or second year horn, so that's a nice one. Might just be first year. Dadgummit. I'd just soon not find these, to be honest with you. This is a little area we mow right here. You can see we just mow a little circle here, and we mow right up to there and we stop. But there's a trail going right here. This is just simply an area where I see deer cross a lot. I see deer here a lot. So if they cross here a lot, obviously it's a great place to find the sheds. Now, once you get into this higher stuff like this, you're pretty much dead in the water if you don't stay on a trail. You see this little trail going through right here? You're pretty much dead in the water if you don't stay on a trail. And you're probably not going to be looking back off over in there. Now, if a trail goes off to the side, you might want to follow it. Looky here. That's almost a miracle to find that. I mean, that's almost a miracle to find that right there. That's a little tiny buck, a little, you know, might have had a spike on the other side or might have had a 2 points, it'll be a 4 point. Almost a miracle, but he's right on the trail, right on the trail. And now again, I talked about earlier, they eat these cedar trees when food gets real scarce. You can look around right now and there's food everywhere. They can nibble on anything they want to. They like these briars. They like to eat on those briars. And you got little fresh leaves there. So he was probably nibbling on that right there. Let's go ahead and follow this tree. Now we get up here and you see the little trail goes this way and the trail goes this way. If I was a deer, although both trails are good, but that's gonna go right back out and probably join up with this one. And once you get up into this stuff like this late in the year, you're probably dead in the water as far as finding the shed up here, except right on the trail. So you can take this trail and follow it just as long as you want. And that's what I do. I'll follow the trail for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours looking for these things. Because you get into this heavy grass, you would never see that right there. In fact, you can walk right by a pretty good sized horn. Plus the fact that when you get into this heavy grass, buddy, let me tell you, you keep your eyes peeled if you're in rattlesnake territory. Found one. Again, right by a cedar tree. That's a good one there. That's a pretty nice one. It's not a giant, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was good. He scored good on one side. That is 2 different sides, but that's not the same deer. Obviously, it's a totally different deer. I'm gonna keep on walking down that trail because it's a possibility. That's almost like Forrest, about the same side, but Forrest wasn't but 4 points. Something been eating on that one right there. Eat that point down quite a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going down this trail because a lot of times if they drop one, they drop the other one relatively close by. But you've got to realize that a deer will cover about 700 yards in about 10 minutes. So just walking, they'll go a long way. That's a pretty good pile of bones going there. I can't believe I found that one. I still can't believe that. That breaks my heart right there. That's probably 2 years ago. Let's go eat.